Welcome to Nonprofit Stories, inspiring tales from Silicon Valley. We will explore the transformative work of nonprofit organizations and leaders who are changing our community by tackling some of the most pressing issues facing Silicon Valley. So without further ado, let's dive into this exciting conversation. Today, we welcome Dana Hooper, the Executive Director of Life Services Alternatives of Silicon Valley. Their mission is to provide exceptional community living and programs for adults with developmental disabilities. Before we further our conversation, let's look at their work so far.
It's almost as if a burden has been lifted off the shoulders of the family. Such a difference in the lives of the people that we serve.
I think our biggest success is the people we hire to work here. LSA is filling an important need in our community by creating homes. It's not just a place to live, it is a home.
It warms my heart that these houses that we open have turned into homes.
It's been a lifesaver, and I've been able to restore my life to a normal existence.
It's fun. It's a good place. It's the place I always wanted to stay. When it's so raining, I gotta stay where somebody will keep an eye on me.
It's undeniable, and it's quite magical. We'll always serve people from the heart. We simply are a family.
Where do I see our future heading? I see us continuing to grow, improving quality of our programs, but only through the generous support and involvement of the community. It's really through that support that we've been able to get to where we are today, and it's that support that will enable us to continue to grow.
Hello, Dana. Welcome to our show today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time. And as we dive deeper into your organization, Dana, what I'd like you to do is spend a little bit of time talking about a little bit about yourself, about your background, and also a little bit background about your organization.
Fantastic. Let's start with me. Was working here in high tech, have my oldest son who's developmentally disabled, and over the years I got more and more involved with him, with his disabilities, with advocating for his and people like him's rights. And I started volunteering. I joined a couple of nonprofit boards, and this all led me to jump in to Life Services Alternatives.
I see.
We're known as LSA, some 15 years ago as the executive director. And LSA had been founded a few years before that, 5 years earlier in 2002, by parents who had a dream that homes in the community could be safe for their loved ones, who had been living at an institution, Agnews. And I joined the organization 2007. As executive director, we had 3 residential care homes.
I see.
Plans to open 5 more.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like to think of as a rock solid mission,
Right.
that we would focus on homes and community living for adults with disabilities. And so that was our goal. Our mission was to open these high quality homes to be home to these individuals. The first of them were coming from Agnews when that institution closed, and over time coming from families, family homes, coming from a variety of different places.
Awesome, Dana. And I'm pretty sure over the course of your 15 years career with LSA, you have changed tons of lives.
Yes,
Right.
we like to think so.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And do you mind to share with our audience, like one story which is very close to your heart and which you think really gives out in detail the character and what LSA does for the community and for the society as a whole. Is there a story which is top of your mind?
Sure. There's actually quite a few, because at the end of the day, you realize that we create a home and we create an environment where people can grow, and I often wondered how to measure the impact, and I guess we ended up deciding that it's really about the smiles.
Sure.
And you cannot fake a smile. But one in particular comes to mind, and our ninth home, we call it Cypress, was for young men who were coming out of their family homes. So they were transitioning from living at home with their parents to living on their own with roommates.
Mm-hmm.
And, we geared the program around learning to do their own stuff,
Sure.
right? Do their own laundry, do their own cooking,
Mm-hmm.
do all the stuff that you
I'm
have
sure
to
it's
do.
I'm sure it's
Right.
I'm sure it's very interesting.
Yeah, and this one particular resident, and it's really true of them all, Sammy, and Sammy was coming to Cyprus from his family home. His mother had just passed away, and I heard about all the things that he probably couldn't do. I mean, I don't mean that in a negative way, but
Sure.
He can't cook for himself. He'll burn himself. No, he'll never be able to do his laundry. The list was longer. He hates green beans,
Sure.
and long list. And I was over there one day, and I know they had this rotation in place, and it was Sammy's night to cook.
I see.
And he popped out to take his clothes out of the washer and put them in the dryer. And they were having food for dinner that he hated. He would never eat, but it turns out he was fine with it.
Right.
So I guess I just saw a whole lot of personal growth, and Sammy being able to be more independent and to make choices and to be supported in his choices, to be respected and valued and part of a team.
Right.
And it just makes my heart just feel
I'm
so
pretty
good.
sure. I'm pretty sure. So how did his parents took that? Were his
They
parents
loved
happy?
it.
They loved it.
No one, as a parent of someone with developmental disabilities, you're trying to keep them safe. You don't want them to fail, to have a problem, and so sometimes you realize maybe I've been a little bit overprotective.
Right.
But when you see it happen, and you see it happen in a safe environment with caring staff and relationships with roommates forming, because that's the thing you didn't have at home, is those relationships with peers.
Right.
And so now you're seeing them, will make choices. So one of the other things that I saw in Sammy's life was that, there were some weekends where, his dad was planning for him to come home.
Mm-hmm.
And Sammy would say, we're going to do this, or we have this going on. And, so it's basically, you see your son transitioning to his own life.
Right.
And this is, of course, a wonderful thing for a parent who may be worried about what was going to happen to their son when they got old and passed away.
Sure,
and like all of a sudden, you're seeing this son become an adult, make their own choices, want to be with friends, want to do things and be in a place to actually do them.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. That's so heart touching. So is Sammy still around with us?
Yeah.
With you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, he just had a birthday. I think he's
awesome.
30.
Uh-huh. Oh, he's 30 now.
Yeah, he was 20. I think he was 20. when he
Oh,
moved in. So
okay, almost 10 years.
yeah,
Oh, great,
yeah,
great,
yeah.
awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And then I'm pretty sure, like, bringing these smiles to people's faces, it's not very easy. It comes with a lot of challenges. It comes with lots of obstacles, and I'm pretty sure you solve them every day in and day out.
Yeah.
Can you share a couple of challenges with our audience so people know that, hey, you know what? It's not just like everything is not just like rosy, but there are lots of effort which goes on behind what you guys do. Can you touch a little bit base on that?
I guess one thing that kind of predates the challenge is that I think we realize the importance of culture, of the house becoming a home. And so we work really hard on some core values. One of our core values is respect for the staff, respect for families, respect for the residents, and we respect and treat each other with dignity. Another one is kind of this constant goal of being better, of improving. It's okay to make mistakes, but
Absolutely.
let's be better. And the final one is this, overarching desire to be included, to be part of a community, to be included in the community in meaningful ways.
Right.
And so those things are overarching, but the challenge becomes over time, and we noticed it with the pandemic, harder and harder to find good quality staff.
Right.
And so that's an ongoing challenge. We hope we've taken some actions. We've added some positions. We have a full-time recruiter now, a full-time trainer.
That's awesome.
We've always believed that not only do you have to get good people, and in many cases, people who care from their heart,
Right.
but you also have to train them and give them the skills and career paths to keep them engaged over time.
Sure.
So that's definitely been a challenge.
Sure.
The second challenge is that houses don't grow on low hanging. They're not low hanging fruit,
Especially in this area, especially in Silicon Valley, especially in the area. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Houses are expensive. It's expensive for people to live here. So we've had to work really hard to raise the funds to be able to expand. And we're so very fortunate that over that 15 years, we've gone from 3 to 15 homes.
That's almost five times increase in their overall capacity.
Yeah. And so, we've worked hard at that, but the challenge is raising enough money to be able to acquire a home. We lease them when we can, but we have to have control over them because everybody wants it to be a forever home for their loved one,
Right.
and you can't have a landlord that changes their mind and says, "Oh no, just kidding. I'd rather rent it to somebody else." So we've worked really hard with the community to raise money, to get grants, to build out homes, make modifications, furnish them, get the money to be able to make a down payment, and that's an ongoing thing.
Right.
It doesn't get any easier.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
So we continue to be committed to expand, and what that looks like is acquiring homes and being able to staff them.
Absolutely.
So those are our main challenges.
Absolutely. So talk to me about some of your future goals and opportunities which you think are there, in ahead of you, let us say, over the course of next 3 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things or your vision looks like for the organization?
Well, I mean, it served us well, but we've articulated this goal of adding a home a year.
Sure.
And so I think that's what we'll try and do over the next 3 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
In order to be able to do that, we have to raise the money
Right.
to buy the homes, and we have to be able to staff them.
Right.
And I guess a goal beyond that would be to further expand our day program. We have a community inclusion, we call it training program, where individuals in the program during the day go out into the community and do volunteer work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see that be a lot bigger program.
Right.
It's been really hard during the past couple of years because of the pandemic.
Sure.
But I'd like to see us expand that program as well.
Absolutely. And you have such a great experience, Dana. Like over 15 years worth of experience in being running the organization. And I'm pretty sure a lot of our audience today, there are people who want to run some sort of these organizations or who are already doing this work and are running into challenges. Do you have some advice from your such vast experience for our audience?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. You know, and I think the first thing is find your passion, and then you can follow it. You know, I wanted to give back. I was able to give back, and I had the passion to do it, you know, in this space. But you know, that may not be so obvious to someone, and so I think I would encourage them to get their hand in the game, volunteer, try things out, try and find where that passion is, and then not be afraid at some point just to jump in. I was very fortunate at the time I joined LSA. I had a pretty successful career, and I'd been able to accumulate some assets, and I didn't really need that same wage rate that I had been earning in the high-tech industry, and so it was relatively easy. But you know, for others that may need to be patient, you know, and wait for the right time to jump in. But in the meantime, volunteer. Find some place to jump in and help, and even if it's only in a few hours a week, and follow your passion.
Worried about the dilemma of selling first or buying first? TradeMyHome.com, powered by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, has the solution. With our guaranteed 24-hour cash offers, you won't risk owning 2 homes or being homeless. You can buy first and sell later. Are you upgrading or downgrading in the next 3 to 6 months? Text PAIR to 408-740-7400 for a free and no-obligation professional equity appraisal report, exclusively for Nonprofit Stories podcast viewers. For more information, visit TradeMyHome.com or call 408-740-7400. Remember, at TradeMyHome.com, your home is sold guaranteed or we'll buy it.
So Dana, what advice will you give to some of the parents who may have a young adult who may be requiring your services? What advice will you give to them?
Right. Well, I guess my first advice would be you can never start too soon.
Sure.
You know, thinking about the future and planning, and there are different models, and you know, one might be better, you know, or not as good for your particular loved one. So understanding that. Also, for some parents who have an interest, you know, there is a path where you start your own nonprofit and you know, become an LSA.
I see.
And you know, part of becoming an LSA would be to open new homes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I've often give parents advice on that by taking them through what the process is for opening a new home, what it takes in the way of resources and time, and and what great benefits can accrue as we've talked about, what it's like to live in an LSA home. it can be, just an amazing place.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I direct those parents to speak with me, either directly or indirectly. I've often spoken at conferences about what it takes to open a residential care home, but it is something that they could consider. In addition, they can consider getting involved, maybe serving as a volunteer on a board of an organization like LSA.
Sure.
Can learn a lot by being that kind of a volunteer, or getting involved in helping create that capacity by making a donation.
Okay.
So these are all ways that they can get involved. But my overarching, do it early, do it often.
Okay, awesome. And what are some of the ways in which parents who may have a need to connect with you, how they can connect with you through do you guys have any social media channels they can connect with you? So I'm also a parent of a special need child.
Right.
And I know we all know that, hey, all these services exist somewhere, and it's a mystery for us parents on how to connect, how to reach out to them, right? Can you leave us some pointers for our audiences as to how they can reach out to you, how they can connect with you, how they can get the process started?
Yeah. Well, I think the short answer is to connect with us through the website. We use a variety of different channels to communicate with people, and we welcome and try and see ourselves as being a resource to them. Whether the right answer is an LSA, a place in an LSA home or something else. We often do webinars of general interest on different topics to become part of our mailing list, and those may be things that are useful to attend. We have a lot of events, a couple coming up. We have a run. We're calling it LSA's Run Home.
Sure.
And it's going to be this coming September. And you don't have to be fast. You don't even have to run far.
Okay.
And if you need to, you can roll.
Sure.
Or just be a cheerleader for all those who are run, walking, or rolling. But those are, and there's I guess we'll just say that there's a couple of links for you, to follow, to check out.
Sure. So a follow-up question on that, Dana. How can parents or anybody, if they want to contribute to the organization, what are the top 3 ways in which they can contribute to the organization outside of money? I know when we talk about contribution, the first thing people think about is, hey, I have to contribute through money. But I'm pretty sure there are other avenues which you can use, or there are other ways in which people can contribute to the organization. Can you talk about some of them?
Well, certainly volunteering, and we're interested in engaging with people, and volunteering is a way to engage them. There's on our website, there's a way to come in and say, I'm interested in volunteer opportunities, and explore it that way. We have a volunteer board.
Okay. We
have 17 individuals who, volunteer their time to be members of our governing board.
So people can volunteer their time.
Yes.
Right.
Basically, what different ways that they could volunteer their time.
Right.
And I think that's really the main thing.
Sure. Or they can volunteer their expertise too.
Well, and of course they bring what they have to the
Sure.
table. I'm amazed at we have a great board, and the different skills and experiences and expertise and experiences that they have and what they bring to the table really makes it a better organization.
Right.
And we also want to have that representation of the people we serve.
Right.
Right. So a lot of them are our parents, and bring those parental experiences as well as dreams,
Right.
To the table.
Okay, wonderful. You know what, Dana, it's been absolute pleasure to speak with you today.
Likewise.
Keep up the good work, and let's stay in touch.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
It's time for our trivia question to win prizes. This section is hosted by our AI host, Kay.
Hi, this is Kay from TradeMyHome.com, powered by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it. Here is our NPS trivia question. Which nonprofit organization provides humanitarian aid and relief to people affected by natural disasters? And your options are Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, or World Wildlife Fund. Again, your options are Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, or World Wildlife Fund. Winners will get a $25 Amazon gift card and recognition in our next episode. Submit your entry on our website, nonprofitstories.trademyhome.com, or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Only the top 3 correct entries will win. So hurry up and submit your entry now.
Thank you for listening to the podcast and acknowledging the impactful work of nonprofits in Silicon Valley. Please subscribe and share this episode with a friend. Thank you to our sponsor, TradeMyHome.com, for their community commitment and for making this podcast possible. Until next time, remember to support local nonprofits.